Okay, this is Bella's third feedback on her drills video, and now we're going to be doing some rear crossing. Alright, so when we rear cross, we should be thinking three things. Number one, we have to set the dog's path. You're almost starting to do it now. Not quite. Setting the path means from this yellow jump through this green into that tunnel. Telling her that is her line. And you're facing the camera right now. That means you would be pivoting, showing this line. When we get to that, that is the first step. You cannot get number two until you do that. Step two is getting commitment from her on that path, right? Once you get commitment to that path, then and only then can we move on to step three, which is driving your line. And then your line is going to be running like this, mostly as close to possible, paralleling that line to the tunnel. Dogs want to parallel our lines, as we will see her do. So I would say right now, you are setting this line. You obviously do not have commitment to it yet. So what are you doing? You should not be starting to drive your line yet. You are smooshing all three steps into one. And that is why you end up stopping here, because you can't cross the line, you can't go any further, because you're just getting step two now. See where she is now? This is your step two, where you're starting to get commitment from her. You, right now, should be back here. And the reason is that way, it would allow you to then drive this line. But you can't. So you end up having to do this path, and then you drive your line, which ends up looking like a squirrely line. And what does she do? The line you end up driving ends up being this. And so she ends up doing this. The tail ends of those paths paralleling. See, watch this. See how she's paralleling your path? That is natural and appropriate. So in order to get her to want to drive here, we have to be running here. In order for you to be able to run that line, you have to have waited back at this yellow jump. So we've just been, and part of the problem here, and this happens to all of us, you've just been doing all these fronts and blinds where you have to run to get in front of your dog, and you're thinking run, 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 go, go, go. Well, with rear crosses, a lot of times, almost all the time, especially with Bella, you're going to need to show patience back here at this jump. Patience here. Look at it this way. You're going to have to slow down along your path. Remember before, on the last video, I was talking about you're running a shorter path than she is. So again, you're going to still, with the rear cross, you're also running a shorter path than she is. You are going to have to slow down yourself at some point if you're going to rear cross. The time to slow down is at the yellow jump. That's when you want to slow down, because that helps show this path, deceleration. You don't want, if you don't slow down there, then you will end up having to slow down here, which shows deceleration. We do not want her decelerating here. You want to decelerate there. See how you keep going? And then you have to stop. We don't want to stop here, because then you have this path, and then she's going to do that again. And by the way, she went into the tunnel. Pay her. And yes, okay, so I do see you throwing that. So good job. Good job paying her, even though, and recognizing that she did what you asked her to do. So good job there. Stop. Put your feet in concrete. Create the turn there. Then drive your line. This is the only bad reward that I've seen you do. Because she did this, and then she did this, and then you paid her for that. So at least just pay her out here, because that's what we're looking for, okay? Because you just, right here in this spot, it's very, very rare that I will say, oh, don't reward them. Although in this case, I take it back. This isn't an exception for me. Yes, reward her. Just your reward location stinks this time. And normally it's been really good. So you should have paid her out here, right? Because we don't want to pay her for taking that path. We want to pay her for taking that path. So it's understandable if she wants to repeat that same path again because she just got paid for taking that path. But your instinct to just pay her is very good. So right now, we want to stop. Plant your feet in concrete. Plant your feet in concrete. Rotate your shoulders. Create this turn. Get commitment from her. Then drive your line. You keep smushing this. So you're drawing in this. Okay. Oh. Okay. Sorry. I didn't realize we are now doing the pinwheel. So with the pinwheel, I would say that that's pretty good. You could have still, actually, I still would have preferred that you slow down there more to create a better turn there, then get here, create the turn, then go here and create the turn, but it is better. So, sorry, I thought we were doing the rear again. Good job. I do like that you paid her on her line. So, nice work, Aaron. There's a lot of good stuff in this drill. Your front cross, your big 4 steps, all that are excellent. Your rewards were mostly really, really good. That is not a trivial thing. That is a very underrated thing. I know that you really try to keep it positive with her. I know that you're trying to do that, especially because we all get frustrated. So that's all great. Set her up better, closer on for like towards that wing for the slice. So check the dog's path when we set her up. Try to do our front cross steps along the path rather than this. And on the rear cross, create her path, set her line, get commitment before you try to drive your line. It is really hard to do, but you have to plant your feet like they are stuck in concrete. Rotate your shoulders, create this line that will create this turn for her, and then drive your line. Don't smush them all together because you end up here and then sitting around like this waiting and then running this path. If you do that, you're always going to struggle. One last thing, you don't need to layer this green jump. You could have gone and rear cross the tunnel itself. So just keep running with her and then rear cross when she crosses in front of you. I'd rather have you rear cross after you send her to the tunnel than just trying to hang out here at the jump. Great job.